Eric would like to say a few words. Eric, please. Round of applause for Eric. Thank you.
Well, first of all, a very warm welcome to you all. This is a very special evening, and I'm so glad so many of you have been able to come, because today you've got two special things. Number one, we've got the first live group broadcast from the new premises, which is very, very important, because as you know, last week we had the first ordinary broadcast, and today we've got this wonderful group who's behind me. And a warm welcome to you all. They don't realise, of course, that you're so famous, because you've played in Harrods, in London, in Paris, and you're going to enjoy the sound. Thank you very much for coming along, and I'm sure you're going to be a tremendous success. I'm looking forward to your next album. Now, before I start, or before I finish, I want to say a few warm thanks, and I think it's very important that I do, because as you look round this place, you wouldn't realise that 2 months ago there was nothing here. It was a complete blank area. And yet last week we did our first broadcast, and not only did we do our first broadcast, but tonight we've got our first live group coming up from here, which is a tremendous success. And it has all been achieved by our volunteers. And I think this is wonderful. Over Easter, so many of them gave up their time to move the studio from the co-op down to here. And you've no idea, the vans and the load. This room was absolutely stacked from one end to the other. You wouldn't believe it. Downstairs, there was an old boiler trunking on the roof. I hope you've gone down. You'll see we've got some jolly good studios down there, from which I'm hoping many of you will be broadcasting. But my thanks go especially to of course, our directors. There's Dawn, who's done so much. We wouldn't know what to do without Dawn. It's a big warm round of applause for Dawn. There's Maureen, who looks after the television and does so much. She's made herself very ill, or she'd be here today. It's her birthday tomorrow, but a warm thanks to her. Mike Nimmy, and of course we've got another director here, Kathy, over in the corner, and Claire. There are two more directors, and
Julie,
of course,
in the hot corner.
I was coming to the rocks. They're the rocks, my dear. Come to them, because they're the management team, and I don't know what we do without them. The two main ones are, of course, Julie and Anne. I don't know whether I've got that in the right order. If I haven't, reverse it. And of course, the technical side, we've got Philip, and I'm sure there's others as well. Philip and Josh. But a very, very special thank you to Adrian, because Adrian has done so much as well. He's done a lot of the technical thing, the wiring, and he did it for a period here. He actually managed the project, which is a tremendous achievement, I can assure you. And he was here yesterday with the BT putting the wires in so that we could broadcast today. But a very special thank you must go, of course, to Brian and to Tim, because Brian is unbelievable. Here he is here. I think we ought to give him a round of applause. He has completely done this stage himself. There's so much he's done. Every time I come in, there's always Brian here, working like a Trojan. And of course, a very big thank you to Tim, who isn't here. I don't see Tim here. A heat pump Tim. He's brought later, I say, jolly good. But he's done so much as well. I'm sure I've left out a lot of people, but I can only blame my poor old memory. But at any rate, a very big thank you, especially to all of you who've come tonight. And I'm looking forward to you having a wonderful evening, and I'm sure it's going to be a great success. Thank you for coming, and enjoy the evening. And there's food and drink.
Just stay with us for a second. Don't disagree, Eric. Yes, the volunteers have given up their time, but we shouldn't forget who runs all of this and actually looks after us all and has given us this building. It is Eric. So Eric, thank you. Big round of applause to Eric.
Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you.
Thank you, Eric.
Completely undeserved.
No. Right, so we're about 5 minutes away from the live broadcast. So please enjoy yourselves. Go and get a drink, have something to eat. Have a listen to Erica for the last 5 minutes of her show, and she will give us the prompt when she's about to shut down, and then it will be over to us. Happy days. I'm not nervous at all, honestly.
The Band, from 6 p.m. every Saturday on Felixstowe Radio 107.5 FM and online at felixstoweradio.org.uk. Have you seen the light?
Good evening. Oh, blimey, turn that down. Good evening and welcome to The Band on Felixstowe Radio 107.5 FM and to our online listeners at felixstoweradio.org.uk. This is the show for new, unsigned and local musicians from across East Anglia. Tonight's live session is provided by Woodbridge band Chasing Storms. And to start our show this evening, it's Band Jack Sword with No Fear. Tonight is our first live session since moving into our Hamilton Road studios, and as a way of celebration, we have a live audience. Barely. Previous referred to on other shows, for those that have listened in, as Rent-A-Crowd. Now, these fine individuals have actually been handpicked to be here tonight, and they have a face for radio, I think is probably the best way of describing it. If you wish to get in touch with the show this evening, you can do so by texting us on 01138 590 690. You can also email us on studio@felixstoweradio.org.uk, and you'll find us on facebook.com/groups/Felixstowe Radio, the band. And when Phil stopped talking, he'll push the button, and it's the Macaferry Club, and It's All Your Fault. And that was the Macaferry Club with It's All Your Fault. One of the things we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a wander around because there's lots of presenters here from other shows. So I'm going to pick on one in a minute and find out, and we'll have a little chat with them. And good evening. Good evening, Brian. And your name is? And what show do you do, Pete?
I do Thursday mornings 10 till 12 with Tony, mid-morning show, and also the drive 4 till 6 on Thursdays.
I've got the right face for radio, so I've got the right face for radio, so I don't want to be on the telly.
Thank you very much. We'll find another presenter in a minute, and we'll get them to tell us a bit more about what they're up to.
That's nice. That's right. I was just going to tell you about the stuff at radio.
Oh, right. Here we go. Sorry. Off we go.
In addition to doing the show with Pete, I do the Suffolk Reading Festival on a Wednesday night from 7 to 7:30, which is locally written comedy, short stories, and with local actors performing the parts.
Excellent, there you go, and we'll be doing a bit more of that as we go through Felixstowe Radio 107.5 FM, where we're now going over to Chasing Storms for our first live track.
Up the bed and watching me as I
Thank you to Shows and Songs. Thank you to Rent-A-Crowd. I'm going to go across and talk to Kelly, because we've got some things we need to talk to the band about. So the first one is London Marathon, Kelly.
Yes. No. Oh, okay. I'll take my phone. Got two microphones. Wait. Yeah, London Marathon. No, we're not playing at the London Marathon. Although there are bands about every mile stop along the way that keep you going. I'm going to be running the London Marathon next Sunday. It's a week away, and I'm doing it in aid of a fantastic charity called Action Medical Research. I think Mike's going to talk a little bit about that later on. If you do want to sponsor me, it's www.action.org, and then it's /sponsors Kelly Pritchard. So if you would like to, reward me for my grueling efforts, that'll be great. So looking forward to that.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm going to walk across and see Mike now. Yes? I know he's tuning his guitar. We'll walk across there. And if I could just nip through. Thank you. Okay, now, Mike, your wife Lucy organises something called Gig in the Garden, which is also in aid of Action Medical Research for Children. So over to you for a bit of a talk about that.
That's right, thank you, Brian. This is an annual event which is held over the second weekend of July, which is the 11th and 12th of July this year. And it's a festival which is held in basically the middle of nowhere, somewhere near Stowmarket. And we've got a fantastic lineup of local bands this year, including Polar Collective, Underline the Sky will be there, of course. Bands like the Wilsons, quite a few of the bands who were here last year, but also a lot of new bands that we haven't heard of either. You can book tickets, you can go for the whole weekend, you can camp. They've got a special Friday night jazz evening as well, a jazz dinner, which is an additional little event they're having this year. So it's a really, really nice festival, very friendly, not too big, but big enough for a really good atmosphere. So on the Saturday, they've got an ABBA tribute band headlining. And on the Sunday, it'll be Polar Collective, who of course I'm sure you all know about. So we're really looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to playing there too.
Have you organised another thunderstorm for the Saturday night this time?
Was a little bit of a challenge last year, wasn't it? We had to make the decision whether to carry on, and we could see the thunderstorm in the distance, and we just about managed to get all the acts on, but we had to cut one of the acts short just for the last few minutes. But I'm sure that won't happen again. The first year was fantastic, so law of averages, it's going to be good this year.
And they have two stages there. There's the John Peel Centre stage, and then there's the main stage. So there's music all day long, because we were there last year, and it is a thoroughly worthwhile thing to go and do. It is very, very good. So recommend that if you get the chance to go along to Wicks Farm at Mendlesham, IP14 5SX on the weekend of the 11th and 12th of July. I can strongly recommend that. Over to our next track now, people. We're going to start on a Friday now. We're going to start off with the Friday Rock Night. So we'll start off at 7 o'clock. And here's Mark.
Hello, Brian.
You can take the microphone.
Oh, thank you very much. And what do you want me to say?
Introduce yourself. What's the show about?
Okay, my name's Mark Phillips. Known more often as Mark P. I do the Friday Rock Night. I do the little bit between 7 and 8, and quite often get involved in the requests, which we do on the night between 8 and 10. But my own particular show, which is sometimes, or more often than not now, shared with Claire, is prepared. Quite often about 10 minutes or a quarter of an hour beforehand, which is a bit of a standing joke, but we do prepare. A lot of our music, shall we say, is, I don't know, what shall we say? It wouldn't necessarily lend itself to the run-of-the-mill audience, but it's the gentle warm-up, shall we say, for the rock night.
And with the Rock Night then, we're going to walk across here and speak to Phil, who's sitting behind the desk at the moment. I'm going to go and yank him away from that so he can tell us about the 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock slot.
Right, hi. So I normally refer to myself as Phil A on air. My name's actually Phil Ashby. I'm Mr. B. No, don't do that. I managed to get rid of that moniker. It took a while. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Wayne Coe, if you're listening. I can still remember the pain. So we've done various things between 8 and 10. We've had sort of prepared shows. We've had request shows. We're hoping to bring back a top 3 rock special bit, where lots of people, Dawn's looking surprised. You started it, it's your fault. Where we'd love people to come and tell us their top 3 rock tracks, and we'll play them somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30, and we'd really like them to come in and actually talk about it live in the studio, so that's kind of fun as well. But at the moment, we're mostly doing requests, which is kind of fun, because most people have stuff that we don't have. So we have to remember to revert to record stuff. But most of it's fun, keeps us going. And we never know what you're going to get. So we encourage people to be different, because we don't like playing all the mainstream stuff. Obviously, now and then, a bit of mainstream is fine, as is a bit of MOR or AOR, or even the Eagles, which I did last night. My fault, but there we go. Such is life. So keep the requests coming. 8 till 10 is always amusing and interesting. After that, however, it gets eclectic. Here's Keith.
Eclectic? I don't know what you mean by eclectic, Phil. Hello everyone, my name's Keith Ely Smith and I do the 10 to 11 slot, and I am known as Keith on bass, basically because I am one of the 1,000 presenters at Felixstowe Radio who play the bass, don't we, Phil?
And Josh.
Of course. What can I say about my show? My show is a request show. I request every track played on my show. Every track I play on my show is therefore brilliant. From 10 till 11, it is fantastic. I do what I like to call a special night every 4th week, and I usually play songs on a theme. Could be a particular word, it could be a particular band. But I have a good time, and I think the people that listen to not only me, but the people who listen from 7 o'clock through to 11 o'clock have a good time as well.
It's a very reliable audience.
Definitely. A very eclectic
Yes, that's true. And some pop.
Thanks, Keith. That's your Friday night rundown then at Felixstowe Radio. If you want to text the show this evening, you can do so on 01138 590 690. Start your text with FXR, leave a space and send us a lovely message. Any questions you have for the band, that would be fine as well. Email us on studio@felixstoweradio.org.uk, and you'll find us on facebook.com/groups/Felixstowe Radio, the band. You are listening to Felixstowe Radio on 107.5 FM and online at felixstoweradio.org.uk. We're now going over to Chasing Storms for another live track.
Thank you, Brian. This is a brand new track from us, inspired by a little recent trip to Rome. This is called Still Remains.
Still spiraling.
New music and albums and things. Kelly.
Point the finger at me.
You can use that mic.
Can I use this mic? Okay.
So, new music and albums and what's going on?
Oh, albums sounds like a very adventurous term. We like to call them EPs, Brian. We go for quality, not quantity. Yeah, we opened the show this evening with a track called Do What, which was on the EP that we released last year. That's available to purchase online. It's called Lighthouse. And the one we just performed is a brand new track called Still Remains, and yes, it's one of our new songs which we will be recording in the near future and deciding whether it will make the grade for the next EP.
Okay, and whereabouts can people come and see you? Let's talk about gigs.
Right, well, unfortunately the next gig that we've got is actually a private do. So unless you're perched on the other side of the Devon River with very good hearing, you won't be able to hear that one. But we are then off to a little place called Harrods again in June.
Who get you?
Well, I like to combine shopping with gigs at the same time, you know how it is. Yes, 30th of June from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock we have a showcase in Harrods again. We're absolutely over the moon to be invited back there. We obviously didn't do too bad a job the last time. There'll be all four of us. Last time we just had three of us, but they've made room for Mark this time. So that'll be something to look forward to. And then after that we're at Gig in the Garden in July, which Mike's already told you about, so we're very excited about that.
And people can always look up where they to go and see you on your website?
Yes, well, we do have a website, but actually most of the action happens on Facebook.
Doesn't it always?
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. So if you're on Facebook, you can find our page, facebook.com/Chasing Storms Music, and we'll update regularly there with any gigs and news.
You're listening to the band on Felixstowe Radio 107.FM, 107.5 FM. That's the one, yeah. It's all right. I'm looking at these two standing to my left, and they're distracting me. Stop it. You can also hear us on www.felixstoweradio.org.uk. I will get this. I've only been doing it for about 3 years. Don't worry. Okay. You can also text us this evening on 01138 590 690. Start your text with FXR, and don't forget to leave a space. And your standard network charges will apply. You can also email us on studio@felixstoweradio.org.uk. Right, you two. We're going over now to the fry-up, boys, is it?
Yeah.
The microphone is all yours. Tell the world about your no, not him, you.
Me? Specifically me. Okay, well, my name's Ross and this is James. We are the fry-up. We do have another person on our show. He's not here though, but you know him as Sean. Yeah, we do 8 until 9 on Tuesday, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we've also acquired a new slot. This is the big announcement, I must admit, for
the all-day breakfast.
We've got new features as well, which we're not going to do the usual fly-up. It is going to be including a versus, which is going to be called, and this was James's idea, not mine.
This is good. The Free Mike Skateers. So we're going to duel with music.
Yeah, it's going to be like, we're going to choose songs, have categories, etc, etc. It's going to be a different show to the Friday. But if you want to listen, please do. And yeah, I don't really have much more to say. Please do join us.
And what mornings are they on again? Sorry?
Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday mornings on Felixstowe Radio. Our next presenter I want to have a chat with is Roger. Here he comes. Now, Roger does... what do you do, Roger?
Shall I tell the good people what I do?
Keep it clean.
Right, keep it clean, they say. Right, there goes half the vocabulary, but never mind. Yeah, we call it Roots and Shoots, and we deal with folk and roots music, primarily from the British Isles and North America, but we stray into other parts of the world as well, and we definitely have important sidelines in things like blues, bluegrass, old-timey. I could go on about all the genre. Oh yeah, but we even play reggae sometimes. That's roots music. Anything that's got roots in the tradition somewhere is fair game for Roots and Shoots. So that happens 7 to 9 p.m. on a Monday evening, repeated Sundays 8 to 10 p.m. And we have live bands on, including the vocalist from Chasing Storms one night. Kelly came and sang with Kev Walford for us, and we have bands on like Two Coats Colder, and absolutely brilliant live musicians come in and play. And in the old place, in the old studio, if it was a quartet, we had to have 2 of them in the studio and 2 of them in the corridor. And if they play something loud out in the corridor like a hurdy-gurdy, it worked perfectly. But now I could almost get Bellowhead in the studio. There'd only be a couple of Bellowhead who'd have to wait out in the corridor, which would be a marvellous thing, of course. And as well as that, I'm going to sort of plug a band that I hope Brian's going to sign up for the Saturday evening show sometime. They were the Felixstowe Radio Band of the Month in December, and they're called 29 Palms. And of course I'm going to say they're absolutely brilliant. And if you want to see them live, having heard them on Felixstowe Radio in December, you can go down the Mulberry Tree in Ipswich on Sunday, May the 3rd, 6 p.m. It's the bank holiday weekend, and 29 Palms will be there. And there's a couple of dodgy people in that band, but you know, otherwise really good. Anyway, so that's pretty much what we do on Roots and Shoots, bro. And you tell me that the next track would fit very well into the programme.
Yes, it certainly will. So, Phil, would you like to push the button? And I'll
drive this on Sierra down the B1159. Sure, that may be faster as it could take half the time. The kids have almost gone insane, the wife, but I don't mind. Gonna drive this on Sierra down the B1159.
And that was Alison's uncle with B1159. And this is Chasing Storms. Presenters here at Felixstowe Radio. Next we have Paul with the Ultimate 80s Show.
How you doing, Brian? You alright?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, join me every Thursday from 9 to 11 for Ultimate 80s. We do everything 80s and feel good 80s tracks and 80s trivia and everything about the 80s on a Thursday.
Is that it? I'm sure it must be more about it than that. Can people get in touch with your show and send you requests?
Yes, they can. Ultimate 80s is full of surprises, that's what kept it brief. But you can join me anytime via the email studio@felixstoweradio.org.uk or on Felixstowe Radio 107.5 FM. You can text in anytime on 01138 590 690.
Thank you. It was a big surprise when you just handed the microphone back to me. I was expecting you to say more. That's the problem. Okay. What's next on the list, Phil? Oh, it's Dumbfounded. Oh, we like a bit of Dumbfounded. Off you go. Dumbfounded and Just the Bloke. I hope you listen to the words of that song because they are amusing. Phil's sitting there grinning all over his face. Okay, next we're going to have a quick chat with Erica, who's standing there staring at a computer. You have to come over here. I know you talk a lot and you've got a big voice, but you need to be near to the microphone, Erica. Now, Erica follows me, or you'll be for me on a Saturday. You'll be for me on a Saturday, so I normally go and hijack your show at some point, don't I?
Yes, you do. And they shouldn't let us in a room together. We're awful. The radio presenting just goes downhill when we're together because we start giggling. You're like a teenage girl, basically.
I don't believe you just said that. Thank you anyway. Right, so based on that then, should we talk about One Direction or,
or Glee?
Or Glee? You know my thoughts on Glee, don't you?
We've had that discussion before.
Yes. It does tend to find that when we are in the studio together, the music goes out the window and we just talk for hours.
Yes.
Right, so you talk about your show now.
Dancing in the Street. I do it 5 till 6 on a Saturday, so before the band. And it is basically a show where I just talk. I literally do just talk, don't I? Yeah, it's basically just, so I just do fun tunes to get you up and moving, hence Dancing in the Street, and just kind of fun talk for you to listen to.
It is amusing, some of the stuff you come up with. I don't know where you find half the stuff you get on the internet, but it is teenage.
Yeah, no, I just Google things like interesting news, and there is some weird stuff on the internet. The internet is a crazy place, yeah.
So if you want a bit of manicness to your Saturday afternoon, tune in to Erica from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Yeah.
And then keep listening.
Oh, and then keep listening.
Thank you. This is our brand new track called Dark River. Show me all your secrets when the time
dark river, gone too soon. Dark river, gone too soon. Dark river, gone too soon.
My name is Sophia Michaels. I do the Saturday morning breakfast show from 8 till 10. It's a mix of music from the 70s and sometimes the 60s, 80s, 90s, the noughties and beyond. And I like to keep everybody on their toes on a Saturday morning. Have a few news items and some funnies, which we can get off Google these days, yeah. And I absolutely love Felixstowe Radio, and well done to Chasing Storms. Brilliant, very nice. Lovely boys.
Thank you.
Really good. And Felixstowe Radio is now at this fantastic venue, and when it's all done, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. It's going to be a fantastic media centre, something for the town to be very, very proud of. So, and well done to all the presenters that have come here today. We all love each other lots, don't we? So, this is Sophia Michaels signing off, and have a really good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sophie. You're listening to the band on Felixstowe Radio 107.5 FM and online at felixstoweradio.org.uk. You still have time to text us if you wish to do so on 01138 590 690. Start your text with FXR, leave a space, and don't forget your standard network charges will apply. You can also email us this evening on studio@felixstoweradio.org.uk, and you'll find us on facebook.com/groups/Felixstowe Radio, the band.
What we wrote, called School of Love.
In the school of love, I was always the bottom of the class. Such a fool for love. Every subject was a fail and never a pass. But from every lesson I've learned how to score without getting burned. Then you came from my imagination. Now I'm ready for my examination. It's not about geography, doesn't matter where we are. It's not about psychology, but I'm crazy for your love. It's not about your history, it's the future that's bright. You're the subject of
fun little number that we do called The School of Love. We had that last year, but we haven't recorded that one yet, so that may or may not make the next EP. Have to wait and see. Right, I'd like to introduce my band here. I've already spoken to Mike, but yeah, Mike Hines on guitar. He's also a brilliant flamenco player as well. He runs some little flamenco nights in Woodbridge, down at the King's Head. And our song Storm Chaser features probably the one to showcase that the most. Moving on, we have Ben on the bass, very unassuming. Is Ben very shy, so we won't ask him any questions. Shy. And we have the slightly less shy Mark on percussion over here. And I was told not to do my joke, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why not? So we were rehearsing the other night, and sometimes if we don't have these guys with us, I tend to try and do a bit of percussion myself, but not very successfully. So I tend to use the shaky egg, and so because Mark's got various different implements here that he makes noises with, to use the shaky egg as well, he stuffed it down his sock, and so yeah, it's been renamed the shaky leg. So he's got a shaky leg with him today, and we're going to do a track now by one of my favourite artists called Melody Gardot, who's bringing out a new album herself. This is a great track called If the Stars Are Mine, and Mark's going to have a little freak out during this one. Yes, you are, Mark. This is If the Stars Were Mine. If the stars are mine, I'd give them all to you. I'd cut them down right from the sky and leave it all in blue. I would never let the sun forget to shine upon your face. So when others would have rain clouds, you'd have only sunny days. If the stars are mine, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd put those stars right in a jar and give them all to you. The words are mine, I tell them when to sing. I'd make them sing the sonnet when your telephone would ring. I would put them there beside the square whenever you went out, so there'd always be sweet music whenever you walked about. If the words are mine, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd teach the birds such lovely words and make them sing for you. I'd teach the birds such lovely words and make them sing for you. If the world was mine, I'd paint it golden green. I'd paint the oceans orange, a brilliant colour scheme. I would colour all the mountains, make the sky forever blue. So the world would be a painting and I'd live inside with you. If the world was mine, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd wrap the world in ribbons and then give it all to you. I'd teach the birds such lovely words and make them sing for you. I'd put those stars right in a jar and make them sing to you.
got a shaky leg. He's got a very nicely conditioned leg called Tambourine Toe as well.
Oh, that's even worse than mine. Thank you for taking me.
I'm trying to bail you out. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you.
Did.
Okay. Thanks, Gary. We're going to talk to Alan now. Alan's a very important person at Felixstowe Radio because he runs the shop, the bit of Felixstowe Radio that makes money. So over to Alan.
Thanks very much, Barry. Yeah, hello there, everybody. I'm Alan. I run the shop.
Brian.
No, but I am Alan.
Yeah, I'm not Barry though.
No, you're Brian. Sorry. I look in the mirror in the morning when I'm shaving and wonder who I'm looking at. So we run the shop, which has been up at 3 Eastern Square, and it's going to be in here as well soon. We're getting things sorted for that. So we sell everything from strings from plectrums, guitars, drum kits, anything anybody wants really. And so we have a chat. If anyone wants to come and have a chat during the week when I'm in the shop on a Wednesday morning, always lovely to talk to you. And then on a Thursday from 9 till 10 in the morning I do a radio show. And absolutely, whoa. And the sort of music I try and play music that's been written perhaps years ago, some of it as long ago as in the 30s, and then redone by modern bands and rearranged and so on, like the Rolling Stones, Cream and this sort of thing. And I have a coffee spot halfway through where I have a quiz question and then give some facts about coffee and this sort of thing. So on a Thursday morning, 9 till 10, be very glad if you'd like to tune in and listen to the programme. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Adam.
Sorry, Adam. That's all right, Bertie.
This seems appropriate now. Is this Eva Black and Bitter Pill? Yes. It is.
Again.
To Dan now from Studio 51, the show that follows me on a Saturday night. Hi, Dan.
Yeah, good evening, Brian.
How you been keeping, mate?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is a brand new era, isn't it?
Keep talking.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, I'm really excited with everything that's going on. Hoping to do a new show in a new studio. Looking forward to it immensely. And just had a look round about 9-10 days ago, and we're still doing a lot of work, but it's just a complete transformation from those days. So, yeah, already progress being made.
So that's your show then. So your show comes on at 8 o'clock. Yeah. 8 till 10, and what sort of music you do, Dan?
Soulful house mainly. It's soulful house, deep house, funky house, but mainly soulful house.
So anything to do with the house then?
Mainly. Yeah. It's a good show. It's a good vibe for a Saturday night. It's kind of like for a 2 hour slot. We try and put as much in mix-wise and update people on the chart, what the movers and shakers are, and where the best places are to hang out club-wise and so on. There's a lot going on that we can squeeze in between. Requests we can do. We've got Facebook page, Studio 51 on Felixstowe Radio. Anyone can put stuff on, promote it if they want, or requests or track listings. Do a track list every live show, so you know exactly what I'm going to be playing on the day when it comes out.
Excellent, thanks Dan. Coming towards the end of the show now, so I'd just like to say thanks very much to everybody for coming tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad to have an audience in here for a change, rather than just sort of sitting there all on my own. And it only leaves me to say thanks very much to Chasing Storms for coming in tonight, and they're going to play us out with an unnamed track. So over to you, Kelly.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much for inviting us here tonight. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you to all of you for listening to us. Thank you, big thanks to Josh for doing the sound tonight. He's done a fantastic job, and everyone else involved in Felixstowe Radio. Wish you tons of luck. Yes, this is a brand new song, so new that we don't even have a title for it yet. So any suggestions will be taken on board.
Seduced by the skywriter charm, I disconnect every alarm, and every window your dress so fine, and I fall for your rainbow lines. Transport me to paradise. charm me all night long. When the dawn breaks into song, then I've got you all to myself. I promise to love no one else. But as the sun burns her way through the night, floods the streets with a cold and hard light, one stare and you crumble and crack. I swear that I'll never be back. A weekend day with Mr. City, but now I'm full of my own self-pity. Kiss me like a long-lost lover, dismiss me like I'm just another.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks everyone. We're down at Felixstowe Radio. We hope to see you.
On 107.5 FM. And